Dare we say it, the biggest win of the season so far for the Flyers, knocking off the Colorado Avalanche on the road, a 7-3 victory. Welcome into Postgame Live, presented by Curado Insurance. Al Morganti, Ashlyn Sullivan, up here late with you in Philadelphia. We were joking, we wish more people were awake to watch a game like this. What an epic comeback for the Flyers to lose in disappointing fashion on Wednesday to Utah in overtime. All about how you respond. Now all of a sudden this road trip looks great. 5 out of 6 points, and you hand Colorado only their second regulation loss at home this season.
Yeah, not just getting back up after getting knocked down, but in a tough place to win. A really impressive win to come back like this. It's a kind of, I guess you would, the cliche would be a character win, because admit it out there. You thought, oh no, after that game in Utah, you got to go to Colorado. It's going to be,
admit it.
here we go. Yeah, it's going to be a landslide or an avalanche coming in against us. And they come in and they play a real solid game from the goaltending on out. Ashlyn, there was so much to like here. Goaltending, shorthanded, power play, hat trick,
penalty kill, cleans up.
Everything. It was, they gave up a lot of shots, but it came down to a third period. And you go, are we gonna have this again here? No, they didn't. They finished it off.
Yeah, it's a lesson learned, right? From Wednesday in Utah, learning how to win. That was the next step for Rick Tocchet's team. But let's put this into perspective, what the Flyers actually just did. Colorado Avalanche with the most points in hockey. They are absolutely rolling. This is entering tonight's game. Before this game, the Flyers hand them only their second regulation loss of the season. They also tie the Avalanche's worst loss of the year, a 7-3 loss for the Avalanche. They've only done that one other time this year. This wasn't just beating the Avalanche, this was a beatdown of the Avalanche. And
that key to me is that 20-goal differential in the third period, home cooking for the Avalanche, and this is where you had to hold the line, and they certainly did. It was early in the third period to come back, so there was an impressive win here in Colorado.
It really was, and now it's time for our PA Lottery winning moments of the game. We talked about that third period. It was absolutely clutch. After that second period where things were getting away from the Flyers, what are you going to do? It's a tie game. Are you going to learn how to win, or are you going to let it slip away, Al?
And here you go with just a great play here coming up. You look at this, and you look at Colorado's advancing, coming up with speed here. You can turn it around, make it go the other way, and then don't send it over. You've got the goaltender right there. Boy, I'll tell you, Tippett, there are nights you just say, my goodness, what a player. It's like, why isn't he a 45-goal
Why can't we do this every night?
Every season? Can't have that. But there he uses a decoy there with Barkey, who I thought had a strong game. And then Michkov, again, he had another, he's starting to come around now to get more consistent in his play, to dig in down deep in that zone right there. And this is going to be a terrific tip right here to go in front. As Rick Tocchet, every coach wants you to go in front to get that shot. And he has to win a battle in front to get a stick battle right there, to get your blade of your stick on it and then send that goal right through. That's a huge goal. That's a real kind of confidence builder right there for the kid to get going here. And then Tippett finishes it off. This is on, you mentioned the shorty on the penalty kill here. Really aggressive play here. You go block it and then take off. Colorado's power play, they're a little bit exhausted right there, and Tippett's got wheels anyway. I don't think he ever gets exhausted. Go in and just pick it on that 5-hole. There you go. See, now he goes in. You can feel it. He's got tone. He knows where he's going to go. Right through the wickets, and everybody's smiling right now because there's not going to be any letdown after this. That's just too big an emotional goal right there.
A hat trick for Owen Tippett, the second of his career, and you love to see the Flyers hats on the ice even with a road game. That was pretty cool stuff. As we now go back on the road to check in with our Scott Hartnell. Time for the Toyota Corolla crossover. Scott, wow, what a win. And you're on the call for it. You're improving your record as we speak. There were so many things to like in this game. What was the most impressive in your mind?
They're kind of hard to choose from. There's so many guys that played hard, played smart, gaining zone by zone going out. But for me, Sam Ersson played a great game, especially that first period. He was outstanding to keep the goals at 0-2-0 lead going into the second period. Being shorthanded the first 5-6 minutes of the game, having to kill 2 penalties was outstanding. So he made some big saves beyond that as well. So the Flyers weathered a big storm, all tied up after 2. It was just a great fun game to call, and my record is going up.
It's all about your record, Scott.
It is.
What's it like finishing a road trip like this after what happened in Utah, but going back with 5 out of 6 points? But what's it like for a team to the coach came down on him a little bit to get a response like this? What's that trip back home like?
it's huge, right? They're going to spend the night tonight, kind of have some fun in the hotel or whatever they're going to do. But, it's exciting to get 5 out of 6 points. Vegas, no slouch of a team. Obviously, the Avs, the best team in the NHL, and Utah has one of the hottest teams in the NHL. You get 5 out of 6. You'd love to have that extra one from Utah, but beggars can't be choosers. And just the level of play tonight, even when they got in close, they got tied up, the Flyers took it to the next level. I love the speed, the passes, another power play goal, 1 for 2 on the night for the Fly guys. So, things are looking up on that side of the game as well, and just some huge penalty kills too, to boot.
A huge win for the Flyers coming back to Philadelphia with some momentum for that Monday home game. Scotty, thanks so much, and get home safe. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
And now we talk about what Scott just mentioned. So much to like in this game. You have the veterans that played stable, but you also have the young guys. Denver Barkey, he continues to impress us every single game. The epitome of being in the right place at the right time, just in case that goal doesn't go in that he assists on, he's there to clean it up. I thought that was really impressive. Yeah,
he had another strong game. There's been moments where, he made some mistakes, but he's a very confident player. You can tell the way he's playing, go in and make plays, find quiet ice at times. He's got some instinct for the game, even though it is, it's not a steady upward curve with a kid coming up like this. There's going to be mistakes, but you can tell players that instinctually know where to go, how to make a play, where to be for a play, when something's going to get broken up. He has those working in his favor. So as much as the physical skills, obviously, he's got some real hockey IQ. So that's a real benefit for a young player coming up.
So much to like in this game, including Denver Barkey. But the highlight of it all, Owen Tippett's hat trick in Colorado. He's standing by with JJ.
Thanks, Ashton. You're looking at Owen Tippett. Many stars for the Flyers, and he was right at the top of the list with his second career hat trick and 4 points on the night. Tip, let's talk team first here. I mean, the loss the other night, there are crushing losses and there are crushing losses. That was a tough one. 48 hours later, you're playing a team that's lost once in regulation in this building, and you win 7-3. What does that say about this team?
Yeah, just the resilience, the ability to kind of take what happened last game and throw it out the window. I think we all knew without saying that wasn't acceptable, and we wanted to have a bounce-back game. Obviously, we didn't know the result coming into it, but all we could do was put our best foot forward, and I think it was an all-around good game tonight. It
really was all around. I know you allowed 3 goals, but Sam Ersson early in this game held you guys in as Colorado came out flying as they usually do here, and then you guys got your bearings, and it was you, Couturier, Barkey as a trio. You guys seem to be developing some chemistry.
Yeah, Ersson was huge all night. He made huge saves throughout the game. Obviously, some big penalty kills, and that's a team that comes at you pretty heavy. So he was big all night for us, and just with our line, it's been fun playing with those 2 guys. We're building off each other. We support each other well, and it makes things a lot easier when you're all connected.
All right, I always like to ask a player when he gets a breakaway from that far out, what goes through your mind as you're going, and you've already got 2. I don't think you're thinking about the hat trick. You're thinking about putting the game away. But what are you looking at there as you have that much time to think?
Yeah, obviously I knew Makar was on my back, great skater. I knew I probably didn't have much time to make a deke, and I just trust my shot.
Well, you made it work, that's for sure. Congratulations, the hat trick, the 4 points, and obviously I know for you, most importantly, the win. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks, JJ.
Love what Owen Tippett said there, that first answer, that Wednesday's loss against Utah in overtime was unacceptable. That's the difference with this Flyers team. I think a couple months ago, you're talking about the positives of that game. It was unacceptable, and we have to respond. Totally different narrative.
Oh, no, that was unacceptable. And they certainly, I'm sure they heard it from the coach. We heard it from the coach. But more important than that, they just realized we just can't have anything happen like that again. So, it was really beneficial, I think, to go into a place like Colorado where you absolutely have to be on top of the game. They blocked more than 20 shots. And as he mentioned, and JJ mentioned, and Hartsey, the goaltending was crucial early in this game. It would have been a way different story if Ersson hadn't been that good early in the game.
What a turnaround for Sam Ersson. At the point of this road trip, you're hearing Dan Vladar, he's going to go on the trip. Is he going to play? You're thinking this could get ugly, this road trip. Sam Ersson totally changes the storyline. Credit to him as the Flyers get 5 out of 6 on this trip. Now it's time for our game changer, brought to you by Sloan Automotive. Third period, a little dicey. Very similar to Wednesday against Utah when you're taking all these penalties and you're thinking this is a great way for this game to slip away.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time left. You see 15 minutes and they killing the penalties. Like, oh, that power play, man, you're just playing with fire on this. But they managed, and again, your goaltender has to be your best penalty killer, but they kept it to the outside, and this is a tough power play, although it isn't clicking the way you would think it would with the amount of talent that they have. But the Flyers forced the issue on it. And not only Tippett's goal, they had advantages on the power play. They had chances time and again on this. So that just shows you how much that penalty kill unit is beginning to feel like it was earlier in the year. They went through that awful spell for like 3 weeks here where it was just terrible. But now it's back to where you expect it to be with the Flyers. And they just have to have that to remain competitive in any game. And here you're going to see again on that penalty kill here, get that shot, you got to block shots, get it away. Again, it's not that breakaway for the goal, but it is sending it down the other end of the ice. Takes second after second after second on the clock, so it was critical in that third period.
Right, especially the PK, it was really dicey. A couple of games ago, basically last week, you did not know what was wrong with this PK. That was a strong point of the season. What a turnaround. But Sam Ersson, Owen Tippett, highlight number 1. Sam Ersson, very close highlight number 2, because this is unbelievable, his turnaround. And this is what at times can drive you nuts about Ersson, is he'll have weeks like this, and you're like, okay, this is going to be consistent, and then he'll drop off. And when he plays like this, he's a starting goaltender in this league.
Yeah, we've seen it before, and I think one of the elements about him that you really like is he bounces back from things. I actually thought he played a real strong first 2 periods against Utah, and early in the game especially. But in this game early, I mean, it was just being swamped. I mean, Colorado had their big, ceremony before the game for their 2001 championship. Big names in the building there. The crowd was all cranked up, and they came right at them. So it really looked like early, man, they're flying at us, and it had to be Ersson to make big stops early to give the Flyers a chance to kind of get the motor running and come back at the end of that first period.
Yeah, and dare I say it, the Flyers have a luxury at this point, because earlier this week, you're thinking, okay, Dan Vladar, rush back, hurry, got to get back. This gives, I think, the time for Dan Vladar to actually get fully healthy, knowing Sam Ersson can carry the load while he's out.
Yeah, we're suspecting maybe he was going to play in this game. We don't know the timeline when he was on the when he can come back and when he's going to feel like he's ready to come back. But I think he'll be ready for this homestand coming up.
We are back with our GMC Performance Player of the Game. Who else could have this but Owen Tippett? A hat trick for him, his second career hat trick. Really impressive stuff, Al.
Yeah, really impressive, and we did see the wheels on the shorty, but more than that, his game overall, he's been much more consistent inside the zone, much more of a power game going in. We saw him with the spinorama a little bit. I think Makar, or maybe it was Makar who stuck with him on it, but he's really been a much more consistent player. Here you're going to see inside the zone here, get that shot, and don't send it over to Barkey because he knows he's got the goaltender right there, and he's feeling it. You really, this is where you see the wheels here, and I like what he said. He knows exactly that's Makar behind him,
yeah.
So let's not mess about here. Let's just get it quick as we can and get that shot right through. So he's getting well aware of what's going on there, who's chasing him, manages to get the shot right through the 5-hole. And I like his shot selection, where he's gone for this before, and there you see the tip your caps.
Love the caption. Tip your caps to Owen Tippett, and I thought it was impressive how many hats were on the ice, on the road.
Yeah, out there in Colorado, I'm sure some people are out skiing out there. Catch a Flyers game when you go out west. And yeah, the Flyers, they draw everywhere. I mean, you get Flyers fans wherever they go in the NHL. I love to see that. I don't like it when it's here.
No.
You get people sending, but I love it when the Flyers are out there and throw the hats on the ice.
Awesome for Owen Tippett, second career hat trick, and also a great game for Matvei Michkov. It's our Granite Run Buick GMC play of the game. We talked about it in pregame. These guys got to show up in the biggest moments. Matvei Michkov answers the call.
Yeah, Michkov's game's coming around here. He's much more consistent in that offensive zone here to get some plays. He sets up stuff from behind the net. I actually think on the power play, setting up behind, I often wonder why they don't have much up top. Maybe he can be the guy from behind the net to kind of set things up, or at least deep in the zone to get things going on their power play. But we see now he's in front, gets a tip on the 1 goal there, and I like the kind of cycle play that they managed to get through here. And that's a terrific tip to get for a goal there. That's beautiful right there, up top over the goaltender, and that's a good play, and that's willingness to go in front there. And you're going to see on the empty netter here to get a shot at it. Colorado pressing. Still 3 minutes left, and with that team, I mean, they've got all kinds of stuff. And mind you, with everything that's gone on with the empty nets with the Flyers, not just the last game, but this game, they had 3 or 4 chances on this thing. He said, just take the shot, and he certainly took it. I think it was TK that actually sent it over to him to get him going.
Which I thought was telling, because you say just take the shot. TK easily could have taken that shot. If that goes the wrong way and he passes to Michkov misses it, this is a whole different topic. But I think it shows the awareness, hey, Michkov's got to get going. I'm going to help him out here.
They help him out here, and just, I know he's going to take the shot. He's not going to give up on that. And so, but they did miss 2 or 3 empty net opportunities there just before.
Yes, they did. Sam Ersson, an incredible game for him as well. Very much tested, especially in that second period. Let's go back to the Flyers locker room to hear from the goaltender.
Sam, how good did this feel for you personally to have this big of an effort against a team like that?
Yeah, obviously a huge win for the whole team. Bounced back after last game, and especially kind of how this game went. Again, like we get a lead and they come back. You know, you kind of get like those flashbacks from the Utah game. But I think it says a lot how we managed to get that third period that we do as a team against a team of this caliber. So huge road trip and good feeling going home.
You had a number of really big saves, especially in the first period. Did you feel locked in from the start in this one?
Yeah, obviously get a lot of action early, and I think that helps to just settle in. And it's every game has its own challenges, and you know, like this team is so good, they're gonna make a huge push to come back, and they did. And again, how we dealt with it in the team, just kept believing in ourselves. And again, the third period is huge. It's so mentally strong from the whole team to kind of put an effort after last game and all that. Like everything that goes into it is very big.
Do you feel like you're reading the plays really well right now, maybe compared to earlier in the season?
I don't know. Make some big saves, timely saves, so that's obviously helps, and that's what it's all about, just making those timely saves so we can get the win.
How satisfied are you with your own, I guess, games on this road trip?
Yeah, I think it's you had a sour taste after the last game. It felt you were so devastated, and you had to like recharge for a challenge like this is tough, and I think just being able to do that, obviously it builds confidence. It builds confidence.
Is that right,
yeah, that is right. Yeah, just getting like ending the road trip like this is very good teams that we played. And to get 5 out of 6 points is huge.
What's it like back in net when you're watching Owen Tippett? Have one of these games where he's just taken over.
Yeah, I mean it's the time that he does it. Like he's a big time player. He makes big time plays at the right time when we need it, and he's that guy that can score from anywhere. He just doesn't need much, and you give him the finger, he'll take the whole hand. And that's what he did today, and feels pretty good to have him on our team.
Thanks, Urs.
Yeah,
Thanks, Sam.
You see there the genuine happiness, Ersson, for Owen Tippett, and that goes vice versa. I know those guys are definitely happy for the performance Sam Ersson put on, but I love what he said about the third period, not just having to have a performance, but to be mentally strong after 2 days ago being in a similar situation and blowing it. To rebound this quickly, I thought was telling.
Well, I think it shows you the difference between a goaltender and others. I mean, everybody else, well, let's flush the game and forget about it. But for the goaltender, it's like, well, I remember that last game, what happened in the third period, I got to make the big saves. There's so much pressure on the goaltender that third period to see what happened. And even though you may want to just throw away that last game, really honest about it, like, we had to be thinking about it. I mean, I had to. I'm the last resort here. I have to be thinking about it. I cannot let anything get through me in this period.
And he didn't really in the third period. Impressive from Sam Ersson and the Flyers as they win this one over Colorado Avalanche 7-3. We are back with our electrifying moment brought to you by your local tri-state Toyota dealers. Remember 2 weeks ago we were talking about Denver Barkey. Is he going to stay up? Is he going to be sent down? What's going to happen with him? I think we figured it out, Al.
Yeah, he really is a very effective player. I like that setup from behind the net there, Michkov. And then we talked about finding that area. That's what I said, IQ, knowing where to go. So it goes behind, and then just that slight move there. Once he sees Makar, I guess that is, turn to go in, move closer to the net there. There's Tippett, who had a terrific game everywhere, all around the ice. And Michkov there with the pass in front. Barkey knows where to go and finishes it off.
Great stuff from the Flyers, a 7-3 win over Colorado as we go back there now to hear from Rick Tocchet.
just said that when it comes to Owen Tippett, he's doing a lot of things away from the puck, and that's what's helping to generate offense. Is that what you've seen too?
Yeah, I just think the last month he's been obviously one of our best forwards, and his ability to transport the puck, which we need, right? And he's one of those guys that can do it. And you can put him with some guys where, because he has the puck a lot, he can transport it. And tonight he was transporting the puck. He looked really good tonight.
How did you like your team's response, especially after Utah?
We scratched and clawed. It's a tough game. I mean, got to kill 2 penalties right off the start. We had to kill a bunch of penalties tonight, and I'm not going to blame the guys on the penalties, but I really thought they grinded it out, killing those penalties, and that's a tough team to play against, and big efforts. Mitch, like I said, Ersson was really good for us. Tip, we seized the moment. Then there was, they had that, there was 5-3. They got that, we got a couple of penalties, and those are big moments, and we rose to it.
Yeah. With regards to that, the third period, you guys, it's tied. Game could go either way. Yeah. What did you guys do this time that you didn't do two nights ago in terms of stepping up?
Well, we had a meeting about it. We talked about it. It wasn't even about a video. We just talked in general. And tonight, there was about 4 or 5 guys, I'm not going to mention who stood on the bench and said some key things. Usually we're a fairly quiet bench, but the guys that were talking usually don't talk that much, and it was really inspiring for me to hear them say that. And actually, I'll tell you, Jamie Drysdale stood up and he goes, "Let's enjoy this moment. Like, we got to enjoy these pressure games. That's why you play the game. You don't want to, you don't want to hide from it. Like, when he said that, I think maybe that gave everybody a little bit of, let's enjoy it. Let's not be nervous about it. And I think that helped."
How much did Sam was obviously struggling a little bit coming in this road trip. How much did he help his own cause with, maybe tonight in the Vegas game in particular?
Yeah, I mean, he was down in the dumps, and he knew that, he wanted to get his game going, but he worked at it, spent a lot of time with Dilly, with video. And I got to give him credit. I mean, he had a smile on his face there about 3 games ago. Like, I didn't see him, kind of moping around. I like that, and a lot of things were being tested, and some of the demons in him, and that's where you got to face it. And I think he did. He was solid in the net.
How much can you use this maybe as to spring off, to take the next step?
Yeah, I'm not a high and low guy, even when you're low or you're high. Like, I just even kill. So we take this as a learning and a good effort, but we got to just, you enjoy it for a moment. This game, you got to bounce back, whether you have a bad game or a good game. I mean, 5 points on this road trip. A lot of things happen on this road trip, right? And we get 5 points. That's a gauntlet. These are 3 good teams, really good teams. So hopefully it's spring doors where we got to play even when we're up to, we got to play the same way. It doesn't matter what we do. And sharpen up a couple of things here and there, but I think for the most part, the guys are happy with their effort.
Obviously, this road trip, you're not even home. It hasn't fully come to an end, I guess, but the games are done. So maybe it's a little early to ask this, but do you think that this could have been a pivot point of the season, especially if you guys would have said lost all 3?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. All I know is that face some adversity, we lose 5 or 6. I don't know how many we lost in a row. Obviously the Utah game, what happened, you could crumble from that. So that's what I like, the character of the group. You can crumble, and we didn't. But I love the talk we had yesterday. There was some really good messaging, and I think that really helped today. And we'll see if we can continue this sort of stuff.
Another power play goal.
Great summary from Rick Tocchet there. You can watch the post-game press conference from Wednesday against Utah and the press conference there. And that's all you need to know about this road trip. Wednesday, Toc says big-time players sunk in situations. Tonight, they rise to the occasion. And there's your difference.
Yeah, and acknowledging that if it had followed up that Utah game with a horrible game, even if they'd not won the game, but with an effort like this, they managed to get the points out of it, that there was a risk of, it's going to start tumbling down. I mean, this is a team, he wasn't here, but we've seen 10-game losing streaks. We've seen lose 8 of 9, stuff like that takes you out of it. But that's why they were looking He didn't want to look happy about the response, but I'm sure
I love when he said the penalties first thing. But
really.
those penalties.
Yeah, but I'm sure as a coaching staff, they're thrilled with the response that came.
As they should be. 5 out of 6 points on this road trip against really tough teams out west.